Thank you, friend, for joining us this day. We continue our study of the book of Revelation. We're entering into the second half of the book, which is simply a repetition, but in more detailed form of the things of the first half. We studied in our last lesson, chapter 12. We saw the great red dragon introduced, and the radiant woman, one with child, about to be delivered. And the red dragon was one that stood before the woman, attempting to devour the child. But the child was born, caught up by God to heaven, sits down at the right hand of God. And the woman fled away into the wilderness. She had prepared for her a place where she should be taken care of for 1,260 days. But when we look at chapter 13, my friend, we cannot overestimate the significance of this chapter, and particularly the benefit it gives to us into understanding what all of this conflict is about. We see in the 13th chapter three evil creatures. First, the red dragon that was introduced in the 12th chapter, and that's Satan. And he is the master of wickedness and of evil plotting. And then we look and we see another creature. He is a beast that comes out of the sea, and he too has great power. He's much like the dragon. He's red, though chapter 13 does not so describe him. That will come later in the book. He is one that has 7 heads, he has 10 horns. He makes war against the saints of God. This one is an ally of the devil, helping to fulfill what the devil sought to do at the conclusion of the 12th chapter. Frustrated from destroying the man-child and the woman, he went away and made war with the rest of the seeds of the woman. And his allies are introduced in this 13th chapter. The first, of course, is the beast that comes out of the sea. And then as we look, we're going to see another beast. That beast is the beast that comes out of the earth. He is one that looks like a lamb, has 2 horns. And he is one that seems to be innocent, but we shall see that the nature of him is anything but innocence. We'll defer the discussion of this second beast till a later lesson. Our minds are on this beast that came out of the midst of the sea. Here are 3 wicked beings. Satan, who is the father of all wickedness, and the beast that emerges out of the sea, oppressive civil government, and the sea beast. And we must pause to tell you that at this time, my friend, that having our understanding of this book, we cannot avoid, if we're going to understand it, of comparing what is spoken in these next few chapters with the 7th chapter of the book of Daniel. Already we have noted that from the 12th chapter and the 11th chapter, figures emerge that are the same, yet different. 42 months, 1,260 days, times, and half a times. 3 different expressions that describe the same broken period of time, something that's not definable as far as length is concerned, but long. And the only other place in the scriptures where this is found of similar numbers is in Daniel, the 7th chapter. Let's look at this red beast, this beast that comes out of the sea. As we've noted, he comes out of the sea. He's red, although we noted that this will be something that will be his description somewhat later. But he is one that has 7 heads, indicating immense wisdom, and 10 horns, indicating extreme power. And the record declares that he will make war against the saints, and he'll overcome the saints, and he'll rule over them for 1,200, or for 42 months, rather. Now let's look at this beast that comes out of the sea, and look at the red dragon, and notice the similarities between them. Chapter 12 tells us that this dragon also is red, and that he has 7 heads, much wisdom, 10 horns, great power, and his power is illustrated in the 12th chapter, that he has a tail so immense that it sweeps a third of the stars of heaven and drags them and casts them down on the earth. Immense power. And he wars against the saints. Now, when we look at the red dragon and the beast that comes out of the sea, their similarities are striking because they're allies in the same basis wickedness. The difference between them is that the dragon wears 7 horns on his 7 heads, and the beast that comes out of the sea is that has 10 crowns on the 10 horns. Now we must think about Daniel, the 7th chapter. For when we look in the scriptures, we see this beast also as he emerges from the water. He comes out of the water. And this beast is one that is and has been preceded by 3 other beasts. The first beast that comes out of the sea, Daniel 7, is like unto a lion. The second is like unto a bear. The third is like unto a leopard. And the fourth, he's diverse from all the others. One identifying feature: he has teeth like iron. And he too makes wars against the nation and speaks against the Most High God. And he is able to overwhelm them for time and times and half a time. When we look in Daniel, Daniel has been very specific in the number 4. It was first introduced in the 2nd chapter, where Nebuchadnezzar saw a great image, whose head was of gold, breast and arms of silver, belly and thighs of brass, legs of iron, feet of iron and clay. And he saw, and a stone was cut out without hands of a mountain, smote that image on his feet and broke it to pieces, ground it up as chaff and swept away by the wind. The mountain began to grow, or that residue began to grow and grow, and became a great mountain and built on the earth. And Daniel told Nebuchadnezzar that that image represented 4 kingdoms. 4 kingdoms. And in the days of the last kingdom, the kingdom of iron, God of heaven would set up a kingdom that would never be destroyed, nor the sovereignty thereof be left to other peoples. It would break in pieces all these kingdoms. It lasts forever. But when we look at Daniel 7, it isn't an image of gold and silver and so forth. Now, it's 4 creatures, beasts that come out of the sea. One like a lion, one like a bear, one like a leopard. And then the diverse. And that creature like a lion was representative of Babylon, a worldwide empire. And the creature like a bear was the kingdom of the Medes and the Persians. And that kingdom like the leopard was the Grecian kingdom. And all 3 of these kingdoms are mentioned specifically in the book of Daniel at one place or another. And then there's the diverse kingdom, different from all the rest, except that it is emphasized that it would be a kingdom that was oppressive to the people of God, persecuted the people of God. So we look at that. And as we look at the similarities between the beast that comes out of the sea, Revelation 13, and the dragon, striking, they're united in one aim: persecute those that are saints of God. And as we look at the similarity between the beast that comes out of the sea with the four beasts that came out of the sea in Daniel 7, they also are very similar, except that Daniel 7 has four beasts. Daniel 7, but Revelation 13 has one beast. But though it is one beast, notice that it's got a mouth like a lion, it is like a leopard, and its feet like a bear. And what does this tell us? What this tells us is that while three of those kingdoms have been conquered and exist no more, the spirit of each of those kingdoms, whether the Babylonian or the Medes and the Persians or the Grecians, are yet alive and being activated by the spirit of that diverse kingdom. And again, we see Daniel very helpful. Same thing. We see that fourth kingdom of Daniel persecuted the saints of God, had control of them and ruled over them for times, and half a time. But the single kingdom of Revelation 13, likewise, is that persecutes the saints. And he overwhelms them for 42 months. 42 months. And time, and half a time is exactly the same figure. Time, 12 months, a year. Times, 2 years, 24, 36. Half a time, 6, 42 months. So as we look at these then, out of this understanding is that helps us to know that this last beast is oppressive government. The name of it is never recorded in Revelation, just as it's not recorded in Daniel 7. But the people in that first century knew who that diverse beast was. That fourth kingdom that was one kingdom that was rolled up out of the four. It was the Roman kingdom. And in the chapters to follow, we're going to see that if we remember what Daniel has to say and who he's talking about, our understanding is going to be better. In our next study, we're going to look about what this beast does and how that he gives to those that follow him a mark by the beast that comes out of the earth, and how that beast out of the earth makes an image, an object that was like that beast that came out of the sea, gave it power to speak, and identifies those that are objects with the mark of the beast. Oh, there's so much that you've heard about that are found in this 13th chapter and the chapters to come. So join us in our next study, as we'll be looking at the sea beast further, but primarily talking about the beast that came out of the midst of the earth May God bless you. May you seek always to be in fellowship and communion with God. And may it be that prosperity and good health reigns with you and your family. And may you remember above all things that blessed are they that keep his commandments, that they may have a right to the tree of life and may enter in by the gates into the city.